Hi guys, I'm Jenny and welcome to my channel. Today I will be teaching you how to make my Sedge stitch sweater. By the way, if you love crocheting like I do, remember to subscribe to never miss an upload. Also, do me a huge favor to hit that thumbs up if you like it or a thumb down if you don't. For more inspiration, check out my Instagram Chic Crochet by Jenny. For this project, I use a Categori 4 yarn. As for tools, I use a 6mm hook, a 3.5mm hook, scissor, yarn needle, and stitch markers. This tutorial is for a size small medium, but is easily adjusted to other sizes. Let's get started. You start by chaining 59 and you use hook size 6mm. I will also leave a picture at the end of the tutorial with a complete overview with the steps, so you can always check in if you need to take a breath and see the bigger picture of your project. Okay, let's get started with row 1. Insert your hook into chain 56. Make a half double crochet and follow up with a double crochet into the same space. Skip 2. Insert your hook, place a single crochet, 1/2 double crochet, and 1 double crochet into the same space. Skip 2, and then repeat 1 single crochet, 1/2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, all in the same space, and skip 2. Insert your hook into the third space and repeat single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. Repeat, and I will meet you again at the end of this row. Every row should end with 1 single crochet. Make a turning chain, flip your work, and continue with 1/2 double crochet and 1 double crochet in the first space. This is how you start every row. You finish every row with 1 single crochet, and you start every row with 1/2 double crochet and 1 double crochet. At the end of the row, you will only skip 1 and then play your single crochet only. And then you start the row with a half double crochet and a double crochet. continue until you have 22 rows of sedge stitches for a size small medium, and the front panel and the back panel is exactly the same. Leave a long strand of yarn for assembling later. You can count about 6 rows of sedge stitches, and that will be the shoulder part that you will sew together. Also make sure that you have your inside out when you are sewing together your pieces. Use a yarn needle and sew it together on both sides, the shoulders, and then you leave an opening in the middle for your head. You can also measure your head to make sure that you don't make the opening too small or too large. When done sewing the pieces together, make sure you secure the yarn very, very well. I even split the yarn and make another extra double knot to make sure it sticks really, really well. Assemble the side underneath the arms. You can count 25 stitches from the shoulders and down, and that will leave an opening for the arms later. Use your stitch markers. Then continue just like you did on your shoulders. Use a long strand of yarn and sew it all together, nice and neat. And remember, this has to be done with the inside out to get a nice finish. So we are finally ready to start working with the arms, and we need to make sure that we now work with the right side out. Place a total of 50 single crochets around the arm opening. Now when inserting your hook, don't be afraid to insert your hook a little bit further down than just the stitch to avoid big gaps later on in the transition between the arm and the front and back panel. I can show you because I tried on one of my previous sweaters, and after using it for a while it actually got quite large gaps. I will show you right here. Here you can see it's been stretching and it doesn't look really pretty at all. And that's only because I inserted my hook nice and neatly into every stitch. But think about it and try to go deeper down into your front and back panel when making your single crochets. Okay, we will start with the length of the arm by chaining 46 and then continue making your sedge stitches when going back. Place one single crochet in your last stitch. Now you will do 2 slip stitches. And by doing 2 slip stitches every time you do a turn, you will end up with 26 rows of sedge stitches. So you will get quite puffy sleeves for this sweater. Now place a half double crochet and a double crochet. Now it can be actually quite hard to find the first stitch, so take your time now and then to actually do some counting to make sure you don't skip any stitches or forget any stitches. So when reaching 26 rows, it's time to sew the arm together, but remember now again to turn the inside out. And don't cut the yarn. We want to use the same yarn to avoid a lot of loose tails. It's time to change your hook to size 3.5 millimeter. Now insert your hook on both sides, and instead of sewing, we are now crocheting the edges together. This way we can continue using the same yarn ball, again to avoid a lot of loose tails, which I prefer. Now continue with the cuffs. And again you have to turn your sweater to work from the right side this time. Row 1, single crochet 48. For row 2, we decrease every sixth, which leaves you with 42 single crochets at the end of this row. If you're unsure about how to do decreases, you can also check out my chic crochet school, where I go more into the details. Row 3, single crochet 42. For the next row, row 4, continue to decrease every sixth stitch. We're starting with the ribbing by chaining 15 plus 1 turning chain. For the first row, we just chain 15 plus 1 turning chain, And when you turn and go back, you will place 15 normal single crochets. Now first you made a foundation chain of 15, and this is the end of row 1. It can be quite tricky to find the last stitch, so I really highly advise you to count a lot when you do the ribbing to avoid missing the 15th crochet stitch. Now for every turn you do 2 slip stitches. This is because you have these huge puffy sleeves, and we really need to do a lot of decreasing to make sure that the cuffs aren't too big. Now I'm trying to show you here that when you go back on row 2, you skip those 2 slip stitches. Now insert your hook, but this time you do back loop only. So you don't insert your hook through the both loops of the previous stitch, but only the back loop. Now this is how you get this nice knitted ribbing look. For the waistline, you place 80 single crochets around the waistline. You use 3.5mm hook, and for the rib you chain 10 plus a turning chain. And you do 1 slip stitch instead of 2 slip stitches every time you do a turn. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it and that I explained it well enough for you to be able to finalize your project. Please leave a comment below and let me know how you did. And give me a thumbs up if you like it, give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Any feedback is appreciated, and hopefully we will meet again.